Mark, what'd you make of the mentality and the approach that your team showed from the very outset tonight?
Great approach, great start to the game, and about as close to a 48-minute effort as you can get. So really impressive. The guys did a great job tonight, both ends of the floor. And I thought we did a good job in the third and fourth, playing with a lead, which is hard to do.
Isaiah Joe has just talked about staying consistent with his work and his approach and breaking down his shot, but still really just focusing on being himself each day. What have you seen from him in the background that's led to a game like tonight?
Well, we know he's capable of it. He's had it before, and he hasn't shot the ball this season the way he's wanted to. We were kind of waiting for a game like this, or at least I was. It was about a matter of time, and great confidence by him. He's just continued to shoot the right ones, hasn't pressed or gotten timid at all, and he continues to play a great floor game, which allows us to play him through the ups and downs of his shooting. So I was happy for him tonight. That was an unbelievable performance.
Kind of mix it in the answer there, but I know variance and confidence are separate things, but do you believe in shooters being due after maybe a stretch that Joe acknowledged he wasn't shooting very well in?
Like I said, he's got a body of work here, and has made big shots in big games, and so you just kind of know he's going to come around. I was impressed with his diet, just staying as consistent as it did, even as he struggled a little bit. Like I said, he never pressed and he never hid. He just continued to shoot his shots, and that gives you confidence. And then the way he plays on defense, the way he plays in the rest of the game, allows you to keep him out there because he has a great impact on the team, regardless of whether or not the shots are falling, with his gravity and his effort.
I hate to get granular here, but it feels like every other game, Shai is at the end of that third quarter turning a 3-second window into a full possession almost to score at the buzzer. I guess, have you come to understand how he's able to turn 3 seconds into what feels like 15?
I just think he's gotten so many reps in those situations now over the years that he's gotten very comfortable with the management of the clock. At the end of quarters, he's usually in there at the end of the first and the end of the second and the end of the third. And he's been in that situation for 5 years now. So, like I said the last time you asked about it, there's been times he's thrown the ball to a shooter late. There's been times where he's shot too early and given the other team time to come back down the other end of the floor. And as time's gone on, he's really developed a great understanding of the clock and how to manage the game in those little mini battles, not only at the end of the quarter, but leading into the end of the quarter, which I thought he did a great job of in the possessions before in the third quarter tonight. So obviously the plays are awesome, but the management's something that he's definitely developed.
Mark, obviously that's a really talented starting five for the Knicks. Just what were you able to take advantage of that you guys were able to capitalize on to pull away from this game?
I just thought early in the game we played with really good pace and tempo. We weren't rushed or frantic, but we were just in a really good rhythm, and the ball moved really well. We kept the ball ahead of them, chose our spots to attack. Great execution of the plan, coming off of the last time we played them on both ends of the floor. And obviously we made some shots, Isaiah, going crazy in the first half. That opened the game up a little bit, probably wider than it normally would have been. But I thought the guys did a great job of executing what we wanted to get done.
In 2 games against you guys, Cat has had some pretty decently good games, but has only taken 2 threes in total in those 2 games. He shoots 7 a game, 45%. Is that, with that cross-matching that you guys do with the smaller guys on him, is that kind of the goal that you were wanting them to not take as many threes?
Yeah, it's more just trying to get him to play away from his terms. Him, Brunson, these really good offensive players. You can't take everything away. It's about identifying what you can take away and then trying to take that away and make them rely on a more limited menu and make their team rely on a more limited menu. And I thought we did a good job of that with him in these 2 games.
The start of the second, Shai comes off the floor. The offense continued to be in a good rhythm. That hasn't necessarily been the case for most of this year. what's the key to those minutes when he's off the floor, especially if Jalen's not finishing quite as well as he did last season?
I think, well, first of all, we've played well in those minutes defensively. And so we've been able to move the scoreboard despite the fact that, and I agree with you, the offense, obviously, if you look at the ratings and stuff like that, the offense hasn't been great, but the defense has, and so that's kept us in a good spot. We're still working through it. We're still growing as a team. We've obviously had a nice season so far, but there's a lot we can improve on, and a lot we can improve on offensively with or without Shea on the court. And so we're still in the process of that and still trying to grow through the season. And we have a lot of season left and a lot more growth to do.
First, I want to tell you congratulations, really good job. So the team is unstoppable. So I would like to know if you have something to achieve. You want to achieve, of course, apart to winning, you want something special you want to achieve this season, maybe some new record you want to achieve?
I mean, we just focus on improving. We just focus on growing. And then we see where that takes us. We're not big on like the huge picture goals. We're more focused on getting better as a team on as many of the possessions as we can, being the best version of ourselves on every possession, and then wherever that takes you, it takes you. But that's how we try to attack an 82-game season, is not focus too much on the future, but just stay very present in the competition. And I thought the guys did that tonight, and it resulted in a nice win.
Anybody else? Daniel Bell, go ahead.
Yeah, Shea's had a lot of great games as a member of the Thunder, but here lately it seems like it's becoming a lot easier for him to just have these great games. It's just, I think it's 8th game with 30 or more in less than 30 minutes, which breaks the tie with Jordan. I mean, what has been your point of view of how easy it's been for him?
Well, it's not easy. It's he can make it look easy sometimes, but it's not easy. And some of that's his growth individually as a player, and just things slowing down for him as he gains more and more experience. He's still at the beginning of his prime as a player, and some of it's the team's growth. I think when you're a player like that that's got that level of gravity, being on a team that there's multiple threats, and him playing in such a way that he's creating multiple threats through his teammates, creates more space for him, puts the defense in more dilemmas. And I think this stretch of time, as well as he's played offensively and as gaudy as the numbers are, he's really played a great floor game, including tonight. He's been really great with his pace, early off the ball, activating his teammates. He's just found a great blend where it's got the defense off balance. So I would say it's those two things. It's his growth and it's the growth of the team.
When you in the past coached against Isaiah Hartenstein, how much did you have to sort of account for his floater? And now that you have him, what does the threat of that shot kind of do for an offense?
Well, he screens to contact, and really frees up the guards, which puts him behind a lot of plays. And that's where it's deadly, because the guard's going downhill, and then you could drop it back to him, and he can find that shot after you've explored other parts of the pick and roll game. But a lot of guys are speed rollers, and they're out ahead of the ball. The faster guys, they don't screen as much, but they're running out, with the guard. He holds screens, and so that puts him behind the ball, and therefore he's got to have a game kind of in that pocket, because sometimes that's what's available, and the fact that he can hit that shot is a weapon.
More. Last one.
I am curious, this is a bit silly, but like when Shea, because it feels like Shea gets so close to 40 all the time, like does he ever push you to play him in that first minute or two just to go get 40?
No. I mean, I think he knows that he's playing the long game, and he's played enough basketball now to know that he'll get his shot at it. The fact that he had 39 3/4 is crazy. But no, he doesn't push it, nor would I comply.
Thank you.
Thanks.